Hello, good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're starting off your day on the right foot. I hope that you are feeling well, that you're being appreciative of everything that you have, everything that you're going towards, that you're eager for the future, um, and that you are, you know, maintaining control over your thoughts and your emotions, and that you're being intentional. So I was planning to do this with the intention of sharing with you guys some really cool new law of attraction tools that I've added to my toolbox. And in the process of getting to do that, I attracted something, and it was a bit uncomfortable at first, and then I had to pivot, and then I moved on from it. And I just found it super interesting, and so I wanted to share this with you quickly. So if you don't know what pivoting is when in the moment, when something is happening and it's usually negative, you are in the moment saying, okay, I know what I don't want, what is it that I do want? And then shifting your focus to the positive. And the goal of that is to stop negative momentum. And so what happened is I got a knock. I'm staying at a hotel, and I got a knock on the hotel door, and the woman, and it was unexpected, and the woman who runs the hotel was like, hey, it's time to check out. And I'm like, no, this is not my checkout date. And she's like, yes, it's today. And I'm like, no, it's not today. And so I told her to hold on and close the door. I went to get my phone and sat down with my phone and was trying to pull up the app that I used to book so I could show her the dates. And as I was doing that, I felt my heart pounding. And I was like, okay, let's breathe. I was like, everything's okay. Nothing's wrong. Everything's okay. Nothing's wrong. And I was just shifting my focus. I was like, everything's fine. Nothing's wrong. I know that I know what is, and that today is not my checkout day. And I was like, I know it's not today. I know it's this date. I know it's this date. It's this date. And so as I was looking, she knocked on the door again, probably like a minute later. And before that happened, when I went to pull up my app, my hotel app, for some reason it assigned me out, and I don't remember the password, so I would have had to go through Facebook to log in and do all that shenanigans. And I was like, why right now? And so I realized that happened partially because, probably for the same reason that I attracted her, thinking that it was my checkout date. Probably for the exact same reason. And so, yeah. And then she knocked on my door, and then she said, sorry, my bad. It's the next room over. I apologize. And I was like, okay, yeah, I did a good job shifting that. But I was thinking, it's just interesting because everything that we experience is because we're resonant to it on some level, because we're attracting it. So I think it's very, helpful to look at, okay, why did I attract this? Is this something that's still active within me? That I can shift on, so that this doesn't happen going forward, so I don't attract situations like this going forward. But in the very moment, the pivoting is what's most helpful, because it really does help stop or slow down that momentum towards something that you don't want. And the key is, again, to focus on what you do want and the way you want things to be. And that is really the crux of pivoting. It's doing it in the moment. And in the moment is the most important time to do it. Yes, okay, I wouldn't say it's the most important time, but it is a very critical time. Ideally, it'd be helpful and more beneficial if you were to be aware of what beliefs that you have that you want to shift, and focus on embedding and telling those positive stories and focusing on those positive outcomes. So when you're already in a good feeling place, it's really actually the best time to do it. But if you find yourself in the moment and it's already activated, okay, yeah, maybe it's not the best time. Ideally, this wouldn't happen at all, but since it has, then slow that momentum down, pivot in a more positive direction, so that you can try and get ahead of this and maybe prevent, the same feeling from happening next time. So yeah, that literally just happened like less than 5 minutes ago. Okay. All right, I am going to show you these tools. Okay, so the tools are these really cool, almost like tarot card decks, from Esther and Jerry Hicks. If you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, then this is their deck, and they're really cool. And the boxes are good quality, hard boxes, still made out of probably cardboard or paper, but smooth, glossy on the front. The artwork inside is gorgeous. You're going to be able to see it. So this is the first one. This is a relationship deck, and it's called Getting into the Vortex. And this deck is not just about romantic relationships. This deck is on relationships in every sense of the word. We wouldn't be here without our relationship to other things and other beings. And so relationships are a very significant portion of every single one of our lives. And this deck offers affirmations in that respect. This is the just traditional law of attraction cards. And these, and it really is just what it says it is. The law of attraction cards. They're dope. And then we have the money and the law of attraction cards, and these are focused around mindset around money and abundance, and they're all so good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do like a mini reading, and I'm going to pull some cards from each deck. So we're going to start with the money one, and I'm just going to do some of the shuffling, and I'm feeling like pulling 2 cards from each, so I'll do that. These cards are super new. They're like and big. They're nice. They're nice. Okay, so we'll do this one, and we'll do this one. Okay. So these are the 2 cards I pulled, and I will show you the first one. Isn't that artwork beautiful? Okay, so this card is number 9, and it says, I can see my world through the eyes of Source. And this is what the back looks like. Gives you an explanation. Okay. It says, by choosing better feeling thoughts, and by speaking more of what you do want and less of what you do not want, you will gently tune yourself to the vibrational frequency of your broader perspective. To see your world through the eyes of Source is truly the most spectacular view of life. For from that vibrational vantage point, you are in alignment with, and therefore in the process of attracting, only what you would consider to be the very best of your world. That's a good one. Okay. And this is the second card. And this is card number 2, and it says, I will tell my story as I want it to be. Oh, that's, I was just talking about that with pivoting. Okay. On the back it says, if you let your dominant intention be to revise and improve the content of the story you tell every day of your life, It is our absolute promise to you that your life will become that ever-improving story. For by the powerful law of attraction, the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. It must be. Those are great. Yeah, and I feel like that last one is definitely related to the pivoting. And really the first one too. Because the goal is with pivoting is to shift your perspective to a more positive perspective, which is ultimately the goal is to get to the perspective of your inner being, the perspective of source, the perspective of God, the perspective of the universe. So yeah, okay. We're gonna do and pull a card from the second deck, which is this one, a cute little bumblebee. I love bumblebees. And these cards look a little different than the other ones. All these decks are gorgeous though. I couldn't have been happier with this purchase. I'm gonna shuffle these and pull two from, I feel like this one needs to be read. You know, and what I'm finding is that, you know, with my other tarot decks, which are actually traditionally tarot decks, and anyone who's done cards long enough knows this, is that you tend to pull the same cards often, and it's based on what you're vibrating, and you know, it's usual that, you know, in any particular given point that we're sort of have the same frequency from day to day or week to week with, you know, little variations. And I'm finding that it's the case with these, and that when I'm pulling cards, I'm actually pulling the same ones, and it's not from lack of shuffling properly. Believe me, I know how to shuffle a deck. But yeah, it's just, again, another reflection, a reminder that everything that we see and experience is because we're attracting it, because we're resonating with it. And there are no exceptions to that, and it's really beautiful. Okay, so the first card from the Law of Attraction card deck by Abraham Hicks is this one. And it says, I am not here to create sameness. And this is what the back looks like. There are as many different worlds as there are perceivers, beings, or individuals. You are not here to create one world where everyone is the same, wanting and getting the same. You are here to be that which you want to be, while you allow all others to be that which they want to be. Ultimate freedom right there. I'm actually in this 7-week long peer-to-peer support group called The Porch, and we've been talking about freedom all week, and this actually started on the 4th of July, this group that I'm in, and so it's very, very relevant. I was just talking about it with them today. So yeah, if the porch is something you're interested in, just shoot me a little message and we can chat about it. If it resonates, it resonates. But yeah, no, we're definitely not here to create sameness. And you know, it had me thinking about this the other day, about how I perceive myself and how others perceive me, and what's going to allow me to attract people towards me. And it just, like, I was having these sort of thoughts of like, oh, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that. And when I look online, it's you need to do this, you need to do that. But it's that a lot of it's geared towards people being the same and looking the same and doing the same sorts of things, and it just never ever lasts. You know, when I try to follow someone else's way or someone else's directions on what I should be doing in any regard, I can't do it. Like, I have my own internal guidance system, and we all do. And when we follow that, it will always lead to the absolute best and most delightful outcome for us. So yeah, go your own way. Okay, and this is the second card from this deck. That's beautiful. And this card says, I cannot create in the experience of another. I'm going to say that again. I cannot create in the experience of another. You cannot create in the experience of another because you cannot think their thoughts. What you can do for them is set the example of joy. Become a being who thinks only of that which you are wanting, who speaks only of that which you are wanting, and who does only that which you are wanting, and therefore brings forth only joyful emotion. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes. I was actually talking to someone today about this, and it came up around the topic of freedom, and I was saying that, a person was basically saying that, talking about sharing freedom with others, and I'm like, freedom is really not something that could be shared in a traditional sense, like freedom is a feeling, freedom is a vibration, freedom is a state of being, and we can't vibrate for other people. But what we can do is we can set the example of what freedom looks like, of what joy looks like. Not even what it looks like, let me rephrase it, what it feels like, what the resonance of it is, so that other people who aren't there can calibrate towards that. It doesn't mean that they're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing or another person's doing, but it means that they are able to tap into and access that feeling within them and allow that to come forth in the way that is natural for them, in the way that their inner being has allowed for them, in a way that goes with the desires that they have. So yes, such good cards, and they always resonate. Okay, going back down, and this is the last deck, the relationship one. Okay, I'm just going to loosely shuffle these. Oh, and I think out of all the decks, I like the artwork in this one the best. All the artwork's gorgeous, but it's just something about these that feels very like ethereal, feels very otherworldly, feels very, but also, yeah, very like, still very emotional. Like I can feel the emotion of the cards. And it goes so well with the mantras and with the energy of the words. I really, really like this one. Okay, let's do this one. And this one. Okay. This is card number 1. This is card number 2. Oh, and I realized I didn't when I showed you the Law of Attraction cards, that I didn't tell you the number of the cards. So the first card I pulled was card number 25, and the second card was card number 26. So, okay. So this is the first card, and just look at that artwork. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'll just quickly show you what the back style looks like on these. Okay. This is card number 6, and it says, my most important relationship is with my source. And source is another word for inner being, God, universe, spirit guide, ancestor, whatever you want to call it, non-physical. That is what's meant by source. Okay, on the back it says, there is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than a relationship between you and your physical body right here and now, and the source, soul, God from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you will then and only then have the stable footing to proceed into other relationships. Your relationship with your own body, with money, with your parents, children, grandchildren, and your world will all fall easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental relationship first. Yeah. And I feel like this relates back to the other card about not, I cannot create sameness. I cannot create the experience of another, this one that I read earlier. And that, you know, a lot of times when people are having unpleasant experience with other people, they want to focus on what the other person's doing wrong, and what the other person needs to change or whatever. And it's not about that. It's remembering that you're attracting what you're attracting because you're resonant to that. Someone else might interact with that person and get something totally different out of them because they're resonating differently. And so it's not that the other person's doing anything wrong, it's what is your point of attraction that's causing you to get that out of that person. And how do you even begin to deal with that, right? How do you even begin to change your experiences with other people? And that's through your relationship with your source, with your inner being, with who you truly are. When you begin to align to who you truly are and experience those positive emotions and shift your mindset to having positive experiences. And it's a gradual thing. You know, it's not something that happens overnight. Trust me. I've been doing this since at the beginning of the year. I started studying law of attraction. And I feel like it's just now that I've been able to really, really understand all of the ways in which I'm attracting my experiences with people. It's like I thought I understood, and it's just like the longer you study this, the longer that you watch yourself and you watch your life and you watch what happens, the more you begin to see how, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me. Sometimes it happens and you don't even, and you're like, that wasn't me. I can't see how that was me. There's no way. But it always is. And it just re-emphasizes for me every time my relationship with my inner being, prioritizing that and staying in cultivating a place of positivity and joy. And again, telling the story you want to tell. Okay. Second card from this one. Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? Look at that. Almost look like she has a ponytail back here. Okay. So this one is card number 22. 22s. That's my number. Okay. Beneficial beliefs feel better when I think them. I was just talking about positive thoughts. Okay. There are things in your environment that you believe that match what you want. And there are all kinds of things in your environment that you believe that defy what you want. How would you ever sort them out? How do you know the active beliefs within you that serve you well and the active beliefs that do not serve you? How do you know the beneficial beliefs from the detrimental ones? The beneficial beliefs feel better when you think them. The detrimental ones feel worse when you think them. And it's as simple as that. Yeah, this is good. Okay. So I'm curious, which of the three decks do you like the most? As far as aesthetics, it definitely would be the relationship deck, getting into the vortex. As far as messaging, you know, I can't choose. I like them all. That's why I bought them all. I bought them all at the same time. And I started delving into them all the same day I got them, which was a couple of days ago. And I'm really so excited. And yeah, this inspired me even more to get back into the process of creating my own oracle deck, which has been in progress for probably like the last 2 years. I've been making artwork for it and coming up with words for it and what the cards would mean. And yeah, there's even so much more to that and behind that and other aspects that I'm not even saying, because I don't, at this point, it's still synthesizing within me. It's still unfolding to me, which is exciting. But yes, I absolutely love these stacks, and I'll probably come on again in the future and read more cards for you and pull some cards, and let me know if any of these resonated with you. Let me know if any of these sparked any emotions within you, and let me know if you decide to buy one of these stacks or if you already have one. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And I put up a post, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I put up a post yesterday saying that I got another, I got someone that signed up to join the mastermind this first week. And that I had a feeling that I got, someone else reached out to me too, expressing interest. And so both of those individuals signed up, which I'm super excited about. And just again, reflecting on how everything is for a reason. And that although I didn't know who was going to sign up, I didn't know why exactly, but I just had the strong positive impulse to say, okay, I'm not going to close the doors when we start on the 3rd of July. I'm going to wait until the 2nd week. I'm going to extend it another week so that people can still come in. It's still very much the beginning and the introductory period. It's not going to throw things off. It's not going to upset the container. And it's going to give an opportunity for some souls to join this really safe, positive, and expansive container that we've created. And it's something really special that I'm blessed that I have created something like this, and that that the knowledge and wisdom that I've gathered, that I'm able to synthesize and disseminate that to people, and they're able to apply it in their lives and actually have their lives change. It still sometimes blows my mind when stuff like that happens, or a student or client comes on and tells us about something positive that happened in their lives because of their focus on this and because of the work that they're doing in the mastermind. It just makes it all worth it. It just makes it all worth it. And then even to see, we have the first hour of each workshop is, me teaching the lesson, explaining the activity, folks going through and doing the activity on the call, us sharing and talking about it. And then about the last half of the call is basically coaching, right? People come forward with their topics, their questions, things that are on their mind, and I coach them. And it's in a group setting, so everyone gets to benefit from that coaching. But it's also not just like, oh, Asha's the only one that has all the answers. I don't. Everyone does. Everyone can tap into their inner being and bring forth perspective and wisdom that allows the other person to align with who they truly are. And it's really beautiful to see like the clients and the students supporting each other in like the best possible way. And it happened on the first workshop, happened on the first one, on the 3rd, and someone asked a question, and then just immediately my clients started hopping in, and I was like, I don't even need to say anything. What I need right now is just to bask in just the pure pleasure and enjoyment of watching my clients support each other and help each other and expand each other. And yeah, it's just beautiful, and it's great, and I love it. Okay, so if the mastermind is something that interests you, if you feel called to this, if you're seeking a community, a group of people who are all doing this work, who are focused on positivity, on really changing our mindset, on really changing our thoughts and emotions, to first and foremost live a better life, to feel happier and feel better every single day. Not only that, but through that to end up manifesting the things that you desire. right? If that interests you, if that is what you're looking for and what you're needing, then join us. The doors don't close until July 8th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when the second workshop begins. And at that point, adding anyone after that point is going to be a bit disruptive to the container. So if you're interested, then this is the final call. I'm ringing the bell. Imagine I have a cowbell here and I'm ringing it. Join us. It will be one of the most life-changing experiences that you can have. And this is something that I honestly wish that I felt called to and that I had available to me when I first started. It's something I wish that I had. At the time, I was in a very different place, very, very different, not great place when I was introduced to the law of attraction. And it just completely changed my world. Like, it was in an instant that I realized that everything could be totally different. And I began to study and learn and how to figure out and experiment how to implement this and how to do this and how this works and what this really means and what's actually happening on an energetic level and all of that. And through all of that experimentation, I've created this program to help guide people through that process in the most easiest, seamless, supportive, nurturing, and positive way possible. So I welcome you. All right, well, thank you so much. If you're interested, the link is in my bio to go ahead and join us on the 8th of July. And otherwise, I love you. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.